A very good morning to one and all present here. It's my immense pleasure to welcome you all for today, our webinar, Happy Classrooms. Beauty is everywhere, where you only see it. Similarly, happiness is everywhere. It all depends on us how to take best from each moment and be happy. I request all participants to please mute yourself. So I would like to call Ms. Ramya to begin this session with a shloka.
Namaskara to all, one and all present here. So let's begin the day with a small shloka. Beginning a day or closing a day with shloka brings lots of positive vibes and happiness inside. So let's begin a day with the shloka. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Happy Basant Panchami to one and all present here. Thank you, Aarti.
Thank you, Ramya ma'am, for this beautiful shloka. Now I would like to call our respected principal ma'am to begin this beautiful day and the session. Over to you.
Yallaruge namaskara and welcome to the place to be. So for the next 1 hour, I reach out to all of you to be staying focused and just be in the here and now. Just be with this session and be with the here and now so that we all can collectively feel each other, participate and engage and put our thoughts together. With the blessings of His Holiness, Shri Shri Shivaratri Deshikendra Mahaswamiji, we are indeed very happy that our activity, engagement, session has come to fruition. And what other day than today, Basant Panchami, the day of Saraswati Puja. We seek Goddess Saraswati's blessings as well to see that may her blessings for wisdom and knowledge prevail with all of us, all the schools, all the children, and all the teachers. May we get the wisdom and knowledge to take our children to better heights. Welcome. So friends, before I begin, let me share a few important ground rules. Do keep your selves muted and participate in the sessions. Your participation is very important. And this whole session is all about something which is organic, which we have executed in the school based on the Joy of Learning handbook of CBSE and other readings that we have done, UNESCO's reading, as well as Delhi government's happiness curriculum. Also, we have, referred to see how we can execute the concept of happy classrooms. Today's focus, as you can see, are these powerful 6 points which we will be focusing on. The first half would be basically the 4 bullet points is something which I will be covering, and implementation of happy classroom, unleashing the 7 powerful joys. My team will be taking you through it, and then we will close with a mind map on happiness and happy classrooms at a glance. So my dear friends, the whole idea, why do we need to work so much on happy classrooms? It's very obvious that these are our core reasons as to why we need to concentrate, why the need of the hour now is happy classrooms. According to you all, which is the most important point? You can write in the chat box. Is it happiness beyond classrooms? Is it pandemic? Why? What is the most important priority according to you? You can write in the chat box, friends. There's no right answer, no wrong answer. You can write which according to you, is the most striking point as to why we should have happy classrooms. Anybody can type your response. It could be anything. Well, I would myself like to put the priority on the pandemic. The pandemic has given us a lot of challenge. There's fear, there is loss, there's loneliness, there is yes, learning becomes a joyful experience. Thank you so much, Taiba madam. So the pandemic is a big challenge, and to overcome this challenge, as Taiba madam says, that we want learning to become a joyful experience, so that come what may, our learning will not take a back seat. And along with that, it trains the mind to discover the joy of learning, because somewhere in the conventional system, the chalk and the talk method took the priority. But with technology being the revolution for education in particular, we have to work at how we can make the minds to discover the joy of learning, how to enjoy each moment. That becomes very important. Now here goes, why the happy classrooms? What are the core focus areas? We want children's well-being, positive mindset, critical thinking, inquiry, social awareness, happiness values. These all are very, very important. And then continuing with, I personally like this learning outcome in particular, very meaningful, which is to do with ownership of learning. We want the child to own the process of learning. The child should be driven with a sense of purpose, should feel engaged, should feel excited, motivated, and be in a state where they are enjoying learning just the way they enjoy playing a game of football or basketball or dancing and music. All this can happen when we focus on how to make learning joyful. So going on with other important outcomes, we saw some more points. Now friends, look at what is happiness, right? If you look at Bhagavad says happiness is a state of mind that has nothing to do with the external world. It is something very, very internal, that it is your state of mind. Come what may, you are in a state of joy, in cheerfulness, state of happiness, state of bliss. Come what may, your internal system is in a state of happiness. It's a state of mind, says the Bhagavad Gita. Looking at the various aspects that we looked into, we have Delos, the Triad of Happiness, happy chemicals, and brain-based learning. Would anybody like to tell us anything about any of these 4 points? Which of these you are familiar with? Delos report, or the Triad of Happiness, maybe happy chemicals, or brain-based learning. Friends, is anybody familiar with any of these points? And if so, you can just write a few words, just 1 or 2 words on any of these. Have you heard the word happy chemicals? Have you heard the word endorphins, or dopamine, or serotonin, or oxytocin? Have you heard these words? Anybody? Time for you to respond. Are you all familiar with any of these happy chemicals? Okay. How many of you like to go for a walk? Thank you very much. How many of you like to go for a walk, or like to dance? How many of you like to do that? What happens when you dance and when you go for a walk? Yes, absolutely. Music and dance will release such chemicals. So the moment we feel low, it's a good idea to go for a quick walk, or you dance, or listen to good music. Happy hormones will be released. Your stress will come low. So let's look at, again and again, it's coming at happiness is something internal. And the first point that we see is the pillars of learning as described by UNESCO. Learning to know, learning to do, live together, and learning to be. With specific focus to happiness, we need to focus on learning to be and learning to live together. Very quickly, what is learning to know? Learning to know is to go into deeper knowledge, to provide students as teachers certain cognitive tools which will help them to know. You can use strategies, you're all familiar, like the KWL chart or plus minus interesting or graphic organizers, how you help the children to know more and in depth and develop higher level thinking skills. Then learning to do is to certain competencies which you have to develop in the children, not only competencies, but in workplace, certain skills, the 21st century skills, the 4Cs that we all talk about: collaboration, critical thinking, creative thinking, communication. How do we develop these skills, which are very important? We may be a high scorer, but we definitely need to have these skills to be excellent and see that we are always in a positive mindset. And then we have learning to be. You ask any parent, why do you want to put the child? It is to do with holistic development of the child. All our affective, our cognitive, our psychological, spiritual, physical, all things should be balanced. And finally, dear friends, it is to do with learning to live together. That is the ultimate focus, or one of the very important pillar is learning to live together. How are we governed by the democratic principles? How do we learn together in the school, as teachers, in the staff room? How do we communicate? How do we work with our children? So because teacher is a very critical link, she has to work with everybody. There are new teachers, there are senior teachers, but ultimately we are independent. So we have to learn to live together, because a happy teacher makes a happy classroom. Let's go to another perspective. This is from the happiness curriculum by Delhi government. It talks about the triad of happiness. So, at the basic level now, generally children get momentary happiness through the senses. You see something beautiful, or you eat some tasty food, or you sense and smell some nice fragrances. So through the senses, what do we get? We get happiness, but we only get momentary happiness. It will not live for long. If you want your state of happiness to be more extended, then it is very important that we develop strong relationships with everybody, have a feeling of harmony with everybody. How will that happen? It has to be plugged in through values. And with happiness, the values that are related are gratitude, kindness, respect, compassion, empathy, resilience. When you show these kinds of values, you connect with people. We human beings are full of emotions. We have to have balance of emotions. And if we want to be happy, and if we want to have positive vibrations, we definitely have to have harmony of our feelings. We cannot be in a state of flux where internally we are feeling happy, externally we are not feeling happy. Okay, we have to be in harmony with our internal feelings, how our feelings and actions and our behavior should reflect the same thing. We should make a conscious attempt. If you wish anybody in the morning and you say happy morning, you must have that feeling, internal feeling of being happy within and spreading happiness. And gratitude, thank you, kindness, harmony, all these things lead to another higher level of happiness. But if you want sustained happiness, dear teachers, then as educators in the context of teaching and learning, it is rather important that you keep the child engaged in a way that you provide skills and competencies for them to be able to tackle the problems that you provide in the school setting. So the greater the challenge, the greater the skill you enhance of the child, the greater the involvement, and the child will not know when the time passed. And if that is happening, then you are living the moment, then you are with the here and now, and then your happiness is sustaining. And with that, a very important mindset develops, a competency of a mind, which is concentration. So all these things will lead to a sustainable happiness state where the child learns to engage, and slowly this becomes a habit. So this is what the triad of happiness is saying. Friends, do you have anything to say right now? Any question that you have, anything that's coming your mind, any questions you can keep raising. We have no problem. We can, use them and reflect after the end of the session. Okay, are you all listening? Can you all hear me? Can I get some reactions from you all? Fine. Let's go to the next perspective of happiness, which is to do the happy chemicals. I've already talked about it, that these are happy chemicals which are released when you are engaging in good activities like dancing, music, or whether you are giving a positive hug to everybody, if you are doing some service, seva, all these are releasing chemically through certain sustainable feelings and hormones, which definitely make you feel happy. Then finally, in the context of teaching and learning, this particular slide is from the Joy of Learning CBSE handbook, and a quick glance at this. As teachers, you should have a clear sense of purpose. Why are you teaching the children? How can you provide joyful experience so that your sense of purpose is met? And are your joyful experience just for the sake of joy? Is it just that you make them sing or dance or do some drawing? That is not just a joyful experience. It should be meaningfully organized. Is there a process that you are following to see that whatever activity you have provided, it can be assessed, and the purpose with which you began, that is met? So how we are ensuring that a sense of purpose of our objectives, our learning outcomes, engagement, and the assessment that we do, whether it is assessment of learning, as learning, or for learning, that objective is met. I have already talked about the next slide, which is to do with values. A quick glance, friends, that these are the set of values that we should be, driven by, which will help us to be, as I said, in a state of happiness, deeper happiness. Be simple. Resilience, important, very, very important today's time, because whenever there is a challenge, you have to have a positivity. You have to have the feeling of you will be able to overcome the problem that you're facing. Gratitude, seva param dharma is the motto by which we are led at our JSS group. Also, perseverance, respect, generosity, empathy, all these are very important. So these are the values, happy values. The National Education Policy also has talked about innovative pedagogy, and here they are. All these things are very, very important. But there is a bottom line in this slide, which says that feeling of something new is a step towards joyful learning. You cannot teach the same way. Children should have a sense of something new has come in the class. There is a joy, there is a challenge, there is a skill that our teacher is giving. There's a sense of purpose which we are going, and personalization is also very important. Finally, let us look at what is this joy of learning. Let us look at what is joy of learning in a quick mind map. It should be personalized, as in each individual should feel involved in the activity you're doing, plus a group activity. There are different learning styles, inclusiveness, children with certain challenges. So when you are designing your class, you should see that it is being personalized in a way to all types of learners in your class. After the engagement is provided, you have to give space to children to reflect. How did they learn? What did they learn? Did they learn the way they wanted to learn? What are the metacognitive skills of higher thinking that they have used? And better than teachers evaluating through rubrics and other ways, you should encourage children to evaluate their own work. Bring novelty. There has to be novelty. I mean, nobody would like to eat anna sambar every day, right? You have to bring novelty the way you are teaching, and transcend the subject body. Don't be limited to your subject only. You should have concepts and integrate your concept with other subjects, so that the learning becomes more concrete, because the world the child doesn't see in through the lens of English, maths, and science. The child sees the entire world in totality, and that is why we said learning to do, learning to be, etc., etc. Facilitate connection building with everybody, with the topic. And the last one, very important, is build in-depth knowledge. That is very important. Go deep, trigger their mind, provide them strategies as to how the child can go deeper into the subject. When we look at skills that are developed while learning. These are the skills. I've already talked about it. Just 3 seconds for you all to look at it. And these are the skills which are developed and very important for today's children. So, my dear friends, with this background, we have actually walked the talk. We have documented all that we have done, and a book has come out. It will be released soon formally by Vidyapita. We've called it Happy Classroom, and our motto is relating education to life for a happier and a peaceful world. The contents of the books, you can glance yourself. Here they are. And in some way, we will be touching them through my team when they talk about how they have executed all of this. We go next to the big ideas that we have addressed in our handbook and in the structure of curriculum design, core concepts which are not stand-apart subjects, but they connect other subjects. That is what a true idea doesn't end thought, it activates thought. These are the big ideas that we have hooked our sessions on: mindfulness, positive well-being, balancing emotion, inquiry, celebrations, creativity, imagination, and joyful learning. And finally, we have evolved with a happiness model at JSS, which is evolving. This is how it is. We've tried to put certain inputs, parents, teachers, and child-centric learning. And we have 3 important areas in the triangle: the values we talked about, the school environment, the big ideas. And all of this will result in happier children, happier teachers, holistic development. And we are not only talking about happiness within the school, but beyond the school. So with this, friends, some overview I've given. We go on to the next session, and over to Aarti. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for this valuable information. So now I'll take you one video of joyful learning, as ma'am has given us valuable information regarding joyful learning. So quickly I'll take you. I think there is some technical glitch, but so that was full of energy, full of excitement, and they were learning while happily they were learning. They were full of joy. So this what we teach in our school or in happy classrooms. So give me one moment. I'll share my screen and I'll take you to the other part of the session. That is unleashing the 7 powerful joys. So in that, the first joy is mindfulness. Then we have welcoming emotions. We have heal and learn through stories, art in education, aesthetic expressions, celebrations, and finally, positive well-being. So I'll take you to the mindfulness. So what is mindfulness? I request all the participants to quickly type in a chat box, what is mindfulness? And nowadays, everyone is talking about mindfulness, right? So what do you mean by mindfulness? Because we all have different meaning of mindfulness, because there are several ways and different ways of doing mindfulness. So I request participants to type in a chat box, what is mindfulness meaning to them? It can be different to me, it can be different to you. So I request all participants to quickly type in a chat box. Let's see what mindfulness means to you. So, like being full present in the moment, yes. Spending time with happiness, yes. Anyone else? State of balanced mind. Okay, so I assume and I know that we all know the meaning of mindfulness. So mindfulness is state of active, open attention to the present, being in present moment. Like in today's world, we are very much busy in our schedule, doing this, doing that, but forgetting to enjoy the present moment. We always, my God, I have to plan for the tomorrow, what I'm going to do today, what I'm going to do next year. We always plan for our future. But what about present moment? If we are not living the present moment, how we are going to feel happy from inside? What we are going to teach our children? We always tell children, feel happy, be happy, feel happiness from inside, do whatever you want. But if we are not implementing the same thing, how we are going to execute this in our classrooms? So same thing we teach our children in the happy classroom, being in moment. No matter what you are doing, whether you are talking, whether you are eating, whether you are drawing, whether you are coloring, walking, everything, just being in present moment. Try to feel the essence of present moment, enjoy the present moment. So in this first 1 minute of mindfulness, we have 2 subunits which we have taken in happy classroom. One is meditative breathing, the core practice, in which we have done the different kind of breathing exercises. And the second one is engaging senses mindfully. So going further, all the artwork has been done by our children in the happy classrooms. So first is mindfulness. So what are the benefits of mindfulness? Like pay attention, less distraction, listen better, more patient, and happier in enjoying things, and less stress. So these are the different kind of breathing exercises which we have done in our happy classrooms, like candle breathing, bunny breathing, elephant breathing, flower breathing, petal breathing. So this is one breathing exercise. I know that we all know how to do breathing, but for the small children, like if a child is in a nursery, how we teach them to breathe, although he is breathing, but to do breathing exercise, how we are going to do that. So quickly, I just want all of you to do along with me how we are going to do this breathing exercise. And we have done this breathing exercise in our happy classrooms. So what we do, just imagine there is a flower in your hand. I request all the participants to please do that, because this exercise we do with the little ones, the children in nursery and LKG, they don't know how to do breathing exercise. So we tell them, take one, imagine there is one flower in their hand, and just try to breathe the flower like that, and blow this flower with a harsh sound, like, and try to repeat this breathing exercise 2 or 3 times. So slowly, like in the beginning of happy classrooms, every time we do this breathing exercise, and children now they are very well aware how to do breathing exercise, breathing the flower in their imaginary flower in their hand, or we can take a flower or petal, anything else, and blow the flower like that. Then we have this activity done by children in happy classrooms, breathe in and breathe out. This actually children, they have traced their breathing. They have traced their breathing, then beautifully colored it. So while breathing exercise, they have traced their single breathing while doing breathe in, breathe out, and they have given different patterns, different colors to their breathing exercise. Next, I request all participants to please mute yourself. So next is we have done bubble breathing, rainbow breathing. Also, we have done candle breathing, bunny breathing, elephant breathing, petal breathing in our happy classrooms. Then comes to mindfulness. We have done several mindful activities like mindfulness with sense organs, mindful listening, mindful seeing, mindful smelling, mindful touch, mindful eating, mindful walking. So there are the different kind of mindfulness activities we have done in our happy classrooms. So basically mindfulness is with our sense organ, with our 5 sense organs. Either we are seeing something, or we are feeling something, we are listening something, we are smelling something, or we are tasting something. So it all deals with our sense organ. So in happy classrooms, we have done different kind of mindful activities. For example, okay, quickly type in a chat box what thing we can teach to children where we can apply at least 4 sense organ mindfully. Quickly type in a chat box what kind of activity we can teach children in happy classroom, so that at least 4 sense organs we can do mindfully in our classrooms. Listening activity, yes. Anyone else? Or in one activity we can use at least 4 sense organs, anything like that? I would appreciate the replies in chat box. Check textures, yes. Mindful eating, yes. Yeah, thank you so much for your reply. So for example, if there is a mango, so we can tell children, so just feel the mango, what texture it has had, what shape it has, and try to smell it. And while eating, just try to mindfully just see, is it sour, is it sweet. So like that we can apply 2 or 3 mindfulness while taking one thing in our hand, to feel the texture, to feel the shape, to taste, to see what color it has, is it green or is it. We can do mindful activity with engaging our sense organ. So here comes one picture. Yeah. So I'll show this slide for 3 seconds. I request all participants to observe this picture carefully, then type in a chat box what all you observe in this picture, like colors, textures, pattern, or what shapes. So observe this picture and type in a chat box what all you can see. This is mindful seeing that we do in our happy classrooms while showing some objects to the children. Observe this picture carefully and type in the chat box what all you can see in this picture. Okay. Arrangement of petals. Okay. Contrast colors. Yeah. What shapes? Yes. So it's like being in present moment. If I'm seeing this picture right now, I'm thoroughly into it. This picture, what colors it has, what different patterns it have, beautiful like circle or something else. I'm very much into this picture. So this is mindful seeing or mindfulness, being in present moment. Thank you everyone for your wonderful replies. Then we have mindful listening, mindful walking, mindful seeing, mindful smelling. These all activities we have done in our happy classrooms. Then comes mindful touch. If you can see in the picture, during happy classrooms, we have given different kind of object to the children. Like one is rough, one is smooth, one is soft. So we just tell children to close your eyes, relax, do breathing exercise. And while closing your eyes, try to feel the object. Is it rough? Is it smooth? For example, this toy this child is carrying. So does it have tail or ear? Just try to feel it. We'll give some time to children. After that, he'll explain what all he observes. So it's a mindfulness. It's not like 1 day or 2 day we'll be experiencing it. Yes, but if we are doing on daily basis, we'll also not realize slowly will be our concentration will improve, our stress will reduce. So it will affect in our long term. So like that, we have done mindful touch in our happy classrooms. Then we have mindful eating. So if you can see, there is a mindful eating cycle. Why, when, what, how much, where. So it's very important because nowadays most of the parents, they have problem. My child is not eating, it's taking 1 hour, he needs phone while eating food. So there are so many things. So while doing mindful eating, slowly we can practice these things, like no phone while eating food, no TV. I know it's very difficult for being a parent, but slowly if we start practicing it, definitely it's going to happen. And moreover, being a family, if we are having our meal together without any distraction, without any TV, mobile, we share our thoughts, we share what happened in our whole day. Because everyone is busy, children, they are busy in their own world, we are busy at least on that table. When we are having our meal, we can share our thought, so and we can express ourselves. So that's what mindful eating. And also it helps in eating routine and habits, appreciate food, turn off distraction, practice small full bites. So these are the practices in mindful eating. Then appreciate food, as I said, turn off distraction and eat together. Turn on senses, feel the taste and smell. Like when we are having food, just to feel the taste and smell of the food, being in that moment. So the unleashing the second joy, that is emotions. We all know what is emotions, the way I feel. Emotion, if I'm feeling happy, I'm sad, I'm angry. So we know that we have different kind of emotions, and it's very normal to feel all kind of emotions. We teach our children to be happy, don't feel angry. Angry is also kind of emotion. So in this topic, during the happy classroom, we taught children to be aware of all the emotions. If he's feel angry, it's completely fine because it's also a kind of emotions. But yes, continuing with this kind of emotion for a long time is not good. So we tell, while mindful practices, we try to help children to realize what their emotions are, what the emotions of other, and how to build relationship with other, like build relationship with their family, with their friends, with their teachers, with the nature, and appreciating each and every little moments in their life. So the topic which we have covered in welcoming emotion is balancing emotions and building relationships. So emotions, we all know, joy, anger, surprise, disgust, shame. We have done activity is like mood meter. Any idea what is mood meter? I request all participants to quickly type in a chat box. What is mood meter? What do you think? What is mood meter, and what we can teach to the children in happy classroom? Mood meter. Everything, like, is it right answer or wrong answer? It's completely fine. We are here to be have an interactive session to share our thoughts. So I request everyone to quickly type in a chat box. What is mood meter? Anyone?
Mood swings.
Okay. Anyone else? Yeah, okay. As swings. Anything else? Like anyone else wants to share the thought? Okay, how the child feels. You can teach them to gauge the changes yet. Mood swings. Checking their emotions. Very, thank you. Measurement of our moods. Yes. So mood meter is like checking onto our emotions, our moods. If I'm happy, so what if I'm feeling comfortable right now? What in emotion I'm right now? Am I happy? I'm excited? I'm cheerful? So again, I request everyone to quickly type in a chat box, what is your mood right now and what is your mood meter? So I request all participants to quickly type in a chat box, what is your mood meter right now? Why this is very important? Because we say, okay, I'm happy, but actually whether I'm happy or not, because if we know what is our emotion right now, we realize what is our emotion right now, so we can fix our daily problem. We say I'm happy, but just for sake of saying, I'm not saying I'm happy, but what is the actually emotion going out in my mind? So if we teach children, they are able to express their emotions very well. We can address their problem. If he is angry, why he is angry? If he's happy, good that he is happy. If he's sad or surprised. So through this activity, children, they are able to express their emotions, being in present moment, and we can address the problem as well. Because just the sake of saying I'm happy, excited, no, the real thing is we have to realize what is my exact emotion right now. Thank you so much for the replies. Then we have positive affirmation. Positive affirmation, we all know that positive statement we use, that I'm happy, I'm confident, I'm good in cooking, whatever is all. So what is your positive affirmation for a day? I request all participants again to quickly type in the chat box. Just one line for yourself. Positive thing. It builds our self-esteem. It increases our confidence. So just quickly, one line regarding yourself. What is your positive affirmation? We will do it. Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. So next, anyone else? What is your positive affirmation? Quickly, one line. I'm beautiful. Yes, very good. I'm beautiful. It increases our confidence. It gives me confidence. It increases my self-esteem. Anyone else? I'm sure we have so many positive affirmation for ourselves, because if we start applying it for ourselves, definitely we are going to apply it for the children as well. And we tell children to being positive about yourself. Two words structurally, I will succeed. Yes, anyone else? I will achieve it. I can do it. Yes. So yes, like that, we know what is positive affirmation, but don't forget to apply in your daily life, because it really helps. Because if we keep on saying to ourselves, and similarly children, they are keep telling ourselves, yes, I can do it, I'm confident, I will achieve it, and we keeping building such kind of confidence in children, definitely they are going to do it. But if we say no, what have you done, you cannot do one task properly, you are not going to do it, what you have done, you are not going to achieve this. So children, he start believing, oh, maybe I'm not able to achieve it. So like that, Positive affirmation we have to tell to ourselves for our betterment and for the children as well. It gives power and confidence. So next is self-awareness activity, mirror reflection activity. In this activity, we have asked children to just look into the mirror and just draw yourself. So if you have not done this activity, I'll just request everyone, whenever you get time, go stand in front of mirror, or if you have mobile phone right now, quickly open your camera, take a selfie. Because you believe or not, like whatever mood you are, if you see yourself smiling in a mirror or while taking selfie, you smile, right? So this is a kind of activity which gives self-awareness, which increase our emotions of happiness, or at least it brings smile on your face. So I hope, if we have, whenever you get time, go stand in a mirror, we get ready, we smile. So this kind of self-awareness activity we have taught in children during Happy Classroom, and very well projected their self seeing in mirror, and you can see they are actually smiling. So if a child is in a bad mood or with low energy today, with this activity, we have observed, they have stood in front of mirror, they have drawn themselves very happily. Then in emotions, we have done the activity of gratitude, finding happiness in nature, happiness in little things we have, like appreciating whatever we have. And for example, appreciating like rainbow. If you can see rainbow, just feel happy. Yeah, I got to see rainbow today. Just I appreciate that I'm blessed to have the yummy food from my mother, my grandmother, or whatever we have. Just try to appreciate the little things in our life, having a cup of coffee while it's raining. So what is your little thing when you feel happy in a day? I request again participants to quickly type in a chat box, what is your little thing which you appreciate in a day? For example, me, I enjoy having a cup of tea, yeah, in morning, as someone else was saying, morning cup of tea, seeking my kids happy. Yes. So what else is your appreciating for the sleep? Yes, of course. It's very much normal. Spending time with the family. Yes. Why I'm saying this? Because again, I said in the busy schedule, we forget to appreciate the little things we have. We forget to appreciate the moments we have right now. So at least we are sharing our thoughts that spending time with the family, helping someone, having a cup of tea or coffee, that is a thing we really appreciate. And I'm sure the next day, like tomorrow, if you are having a cup of tea, definitely this thought will come in your mind. Yes, this is my moment. I'm going to enjoy it. So these are the very little things we forget. We just simply ignore in our daily life. But if we start practicing, we start giving importance to these small little things, appreciate these small little things, our level of happiness suddenly increases. I'm not saying in 1 day or 2 days, but slowly it starts elevates. It gives us really happiness. And what happiness matters is if we are happy from inside. Again, I'm repeating, it's not just the sake of saying I'm happy, I'm excited. It doesn't matter if we don't feel. So we have to feel it from inside. So our third joy is the unleashing, heal and learn through stories. So I request Ms. Shreya to take over from here. Over to you, Shreya, ma'am.
Thank you, Ati. A very good morning to you all. So let me share the screen. Yes. Heal and learn through stories. So, stories plays a very important role. It helps children to be happy, show kindness, caring, love, and also values. Storytelling is an art of using language, vocalization, physical movement, gesture, relieves the elements of story, images of story. So coming to language, a language of storytelling involves the skills of listening, especially when the story is told in their mother tongue. The child can grab it very quickly. So coming to vocalization, it is the modulation of voice. It's easier to listen and to comprehend. So while narrating a story, Add a bit of drama, like making some funny noise, like sound of an animal or a voice of baby or like a old person. Like for example, like baby makes mommy, mommy, like how grandpa makes sounds like when he communicate. Hi, how are you all? If you make like this voice modulation, see the children shows a lot of attention and they enjoy it. So coming to physical movement. Physical movement is an action done in storytelling, engaging whole body in the storytelling. For children, as it creates dynamic and dramatic. Children's are fun to watch and grab their attention. For example, while narrating a story, the character like rabbit is running so fast. So we do like rabbit is running fast, 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 run, run. So here you can see the involvement of children in story. So coming to gesture, it's a facial expression and body language. If the story told happily, the children will feel very happy. When it is sad moment in a story, even you have to observe the children's face. This shows the sadness, right? So the child will connect here in this, the child will connect to the gesture. So coming to reveal the elements of story are those like setting, character, problem, solution. So images of story. When we show images, it helps children to understand what has to be done and what the story can be understand easily. Even the showing images, it helps children to recall the story. So let's go for next slide. Yes. Benefits of storytelling. Improves language skills, enhance listening skills, fosters imaginative and creative thinking. Sequencing develops empathy, develops cultural and moral understanding. Improves language skills. Storytelling improves both memory and ability to narrate the language, which is necessary for developing literacy. So coming to enhance listening skills, children improves their listening skills when story says repeatedly. So faster imaginative and creative thinking. When children listens to a story, it makes them imagine the character, setting, problem. It helps them to imagine and create their own stories. So coming to sequencing refers to identification of components of story like beginning, middle, end. It also ability to retell the story. Coming to development, empathy. Empathy is the ability of thinking of others and understanding feelings and emotions. So it develops their cultural and moral understanding. Telling stories open the eyes of young children, like new things like place, culture, traditions, and it makes them imagine being the place of stories, characters, which develops their empathy as they try to understand their action. So let's go for next slide. Yes. Elements of story. Elements of story is very important. So once they know the elements of story, it's the child can learn the story easily, even retell the story very quickly. So setting, character, problem, solution, beginning, middle, end of the story. Coming to setting. Setting is a place where time and place the story occurs. Character. The people.
Shreya, you can be a little faster, please. Okay.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah.
Character. The people or animals you meet in story. Problem.
Excuse me. They can see the visual, and you can go to the next slide, please.
Okay,
be
sure,
little
ma'am.
fast.
Yes. This is the storytelling workshop. Here you can see this is the first stage where children can draw, and they learn the colors, then they can start drawing. So this is for LKG kids, and this is the samples which our kids have done it. So here you can see this is a second stage. This is for UKG kids. The children used to use helping words and complete the story with the help of pictures given in the story row. And these are the samples. And coming to this is the third stage. The children have draw and the story elements. Then they write whole story with the help of words. These are the samples. Coming to types of backward tales. Draw and tell, finger play, do and tell, puppet show, concept-based stories, and mindful stories. Here are the samples which our children have done. Draw and tell stories. This drawing tales are very easy and no special materials are required, as each draw and tell story is told, its character and object are sketched in single sheet of paper. So these are the samples of draw and tell stories. Next, finger play. Finger play puppets can also help children to learn rhymes, songs, and imitate puppets too. There are a number of motor skills and children can improve through playing puppets. So do and tell stories. Do and tell stories are very interesting. Child will be eager to express what surprise, what has been done next when narrating a story. Here the child is fully engaged in this type of stories. And puppet show is one of the best educational activities. Children have lots of fun and entertaining and creating interaction. It has lots of developmental benefits. So these are the activities and puppet shows we have done in school. And drama and dance and drama. Dance and drama is a story can be expressed through dance, facial expression, body movements, smile, emotions. Here we can see the connect of the story through dance. And concept-based stories. When the storylines are combined with the subject, themes, and child can be easily understand the themes through the character, even events and concept values. So thank you. Over to you, ma'am. I think next is art in education. Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, you're in mute.
Yeah. So, well, the next joy, very simply, we are all familiar with this, which is talking about art in education. It is a very important approach to help the child to be engaged in the process of learning, because just the rote way, traditional way of teaching and learning will not keep the child engaged. And if the child is not engaged, child will not be happy. The whole concept of CBSEs of art and education is to see that the core concepts are, are also engaged and learned through various experiences in art, whether it is fine art, dance, music, everything comes under art. And through this, our cognitive skills, our affective, again, as I told you in the triad also, emotional skills, the interpersonal development, how you feel. Without the feeling, I mean, you cannot understand a story unless and until you feel for the character or what the character is going through. And that is what has to be captured in that expression, whether it is art, dance, music, drawing. Similarly, psychomotor skills, which are to do with the physical activities, or even the mix of cognitive skills and psychomotor skills, where brain gym, my friends will be talking about. So the whole thing of making the child make meaning, become independent learner, and find out the joy of learning. It is like the student becomes the innovator of that concept, of that learning. We don't do a top to down approach where we tell that this is a noun, name of a person, place, or thing. You make them go through experiences and then let them come to a conclusion. This is what noun means, and then the application of noun, where all of that. So friends, art and education is a very important area which CBSE is focusing. We all have seen it. The next slide is also telling us, as I had said, if you want to keep the students engaged, that means the child has to be in the state of flow. As I had told in my preliminary remarks, the child has to be engaged in full totality through the senses, through feeling, and also that feeling of engagement and, yes, happiness has to be sustained. Then the challenge has to go on increasing, and the skill development of the children have to go on developing. There are different skills and competencies CBSE has talked about. Those skills have to keep on increasing from low to high. Even if you look at the cognitive domain, from the lowest skill to higher level skills of application, evaluation, creativity, and synthesis. So the same topic, when it is taken at a higher level of skill development, cognitive skill or psychomotor, whichever, the higher the skill develop and the higher, every time you keep giving the challenges, then the child will move to a state of flow. The child will be in total state of flow and will enjoy the process. So if only the skill is there high, then control is more. But if the challenge is there, then you are in a state of wanting to explore, do, excel, find out new areas, and just live the moment and enjoy the moment. That is what happens when you are singing and dancing and playing. So same experience should be provided to children when we are engaging them in learning. And art, through art, it really helps them to be in a state of aha moment, of wonder, of, being an independent learner, to feel and own the learning process. So there are a lot of tools and techniques. You're all familiar, friends. So that is for you to read and just glance through. And then in the school, there are some evidences that we are sharing, that how in different subjects, experiences were given to children, and they have, through their imagination, expressed. This is to do with constellations in science. Previous side was on English. Then we have something to do on germination, etc. Like that. In the school, we have provided them how the growth of the wheat grass, whatever, amazing world of animals, everything done. Here also we are having an element of art. When you see the butterfly, there are patterns. Patterns are the core of any learning. Patterns are the master of all intelligence, so to speak. So patterns develop. You have abstract patterns or you have regular patterns, whichever. Organisms and their well-being. If you ask the children to do this, they can never forget what they learn. See how journey of a river they have talked about. Everything, maths, everything. Here you have gravity. This is all children. We also had integrated, with partner state, Uttarakhand. Folk, dance, music, all these things are an excellent way to help. If the children are learning through this, can you imagine that they don't even realize they have learned so much? So in today's presentation, we are only able to capture certain evidences, but much more than this has happened to make child own the learning, to be in the process of now and here. These are some evidences which are children. And I want to thank my JSS team of teachers for documenting so many activities. If we were to show you more, there was so much more. Every subject we could have covered, but this is just a snapshot of how part of making learning full of fun and engagement, and making children learn without knowing they have learned so much. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I would request Ms. Ramya to take over and unleash the fifth joy, that is aesthetic expression.
Thank you so much, Aarti. Thank you, ma'am. You both have covered, like all three of you have covered major points. So now let me straight away go to aesthetic expressions. Let me start presenting my screen. So what is aesthetic expression? Aesthetic means the pleasant, positive, or artful appearance of a person or a thing. Aesthetic may be defined narrowly as the theory of beauty, the concept of expression and presentation. It can be expressed through dance, through music, through visual art, and through theater. Before going to this, I would like to say that I create and I enjoy AHA experiments. Many activities were covered under this. So we, being then a very typical classroom teacher, we have to be a scaffold kind of a teacher in a child's life. When we are a scaffold kind of teacher, children explore and create many things, and they reach to the zeal. So before going to this, next we have I create and I enjoy the scope and sequence of art, that is inquire, explore, discover, creativity, reflect, respond, rediscover, and critical thinking. So in I create and I enjoy, these are the scope and sequences that we see in art. So when we talk about art, we need to talk about the elements of art. What do we include in art? Creativity is seeing something that does not exist really. So creating is something that is not really seen, but we need to create it for ourselves. So the elements of art are lines, shapes, color, value, texture, shape, form, balance, and many more things which we will be seeing further. So one among it is lines. Line has no shape. It has no definite things to be done. Lines can be horizontal, vertical, diagonal, straight, or curved, thick or thin, or doodling. So doodling is a very beautiful art that we can engage the child into. A doodling a day keeps worries at bay. This is exactly so true that when we start doodling with both the hands, the right brain and the left brain, we give so much of functions to it. Science says that this activity helps children to have better memory. It is a way of expressing creative energy and powerful way for kids for problem solving, which is the very main thing that which we lack in seeing in present day children, that is the problem solving skill. So problem solving skills can be improved by the doodling art. Then shapes is a closed line. Shapes can be geometric or organic shapes. So in the nature we have organic shapes. All the things that we are blessed in nature are comes under organic shapes. The shape of a flower, the shape of a fruit, the shape of a vegetable, the shape of a tree that we see, everything comes under organic shapes. Whereas when we talk about the geometric shapes, here the shapes need to be very perfect, very measured, and a certain principles of shapes, geometric shapes are based on maths principles such as square, circle, and triangle. Whereas in organic shapes, it can be of any form and any curved pattern. So next, when we are talking about shapes, where there is no shapes, there is shapes in everything. Shapes and patterns in our daily life is so much that we have involved. We look into the mirror has a shape. Look into the wall has a different kind of shape. The door, the windows, everything has a different kinds of shapes. About the shapes and the arrangement of the required thing and the color, the contrast, the children adjust. So along with this mandala art, it helps the child to do in a very creative way, and it is a best eye-hand coordination that helps the child to recognize and develop on the shapes. Related to this, I would like to extend my talk, which takes to Rangoli. Yes, Rangoli, of course, it is a tradition that we follow, the cultural tradition that we follow. So different kinds of Rangolis are called in different names in different states. So Rangoli art also, we have organic shapes, we have geometric shapes in Rangoli, and it is a very good max mind skill also, where it forms in dots. Rangolis are forms in dots also. So connecting the dots give patterns. This is a wow moment for children when they connect dots and form a new pattern. Then speaking about colors. So in pre-primary level, we have colors, that is primary colors. And when two primary colors are mixed, we get secondary colors. So all the secondary colors are further divided into warm colors and cool colors. The things that give us the warmth feel, the fire, the sun, or the hotness, yellow, orange, and shades of orange. Whereas cool colors are which gives us the cool feel, the warm, the cool feeling which in us, the water, the juice, or the ice cubes, or the fresh air that we get from the tree, that is blue, green, and the shades of violet. All these comes under the cool colors. So here are some of the activities that our children have created, and it is so creative. The sun is created in cool colors with its rays, and then you can see a hot dog and a cool cat. So the hot dog which reflects the colors here, and the cool cat with cool colors. So next, moving on next, when we talk about the value, yes, the value, the darkness or the lightness of the surface color speaks lots and lots of values. White is the lightest value that gives the light shades, gives us the lightest value, whereas dark blue and black gives us the darkest value. So in between this, it is the mid gray. Next, the texture. Texture, we have two types of texture. The things that we feel, and that the things that we visually express is known as the texture. That is the actual texture, that is we touch and feel. And the visual texture is that we see and we feel. So visual texture art, actual texture art, and visual and actual texture art is seen here. Going further, forms. So shape has only 2 dimensions, that is the height and width, whereas the form has 3 dimensions, that is the weight, width, and the depth. So it is almost like a 3D shapes that has. And then talking about balance, every art should have the balance of symmetric or asymmetric or the radial art. Symmetric balance means where the 2 sides of the art are same. Asymmetric means 2 sides are different, but visually when we weigh it will be equal. And the radial art is this art that which we start from the center of a shape, that is the radical art. So next, patterns. Patterns are all around us in nature. Nature is the best. Nature is the best to teach us different kinds of patterns in itself. We have regular and irregular patterns, like how Gitika ma'am spoke earlier. We have abstract patterns, we have symmetrical patterns, natural patterns, man-made patterns, and repetitions of patterns gives us the beautiful art. So unity means all the elements that is included in the artwork, which is finally the harmony. It might be the color contrast, the surface, the patterns. So everything together included, we say it as unity. Now, I would like to talk about the cloud gazing, one of the best activity that I have ever experienced with children. Cloud gazing is looking at the sky with an aim to feel and connect with something bigger. Looking at the cloud is an excellent way to observe nature and relieve stress. So whenever we are more into working mode, and just go out, take a walk, take a deep breath in and breathe out, and just look at the cloud. Wow, it's a wow feeling there. So when we take children out for a nature walk and we just tell them to look at the cloud, and what are the imagination things you hear? I hear, ma'am, I see a flight moving. Ma'am, I see an ice cream. I see a mountain. I see a bird. So children start creating, their visual creation is very active there. So next, experiment wonder. So I hear and I forget, I see and I remember, and I do and I understand. This is the motto that we every time we follow in the experiment wonder. So experiment, children are so eagerly waiting for the experiments to happen in the class. You can see the happiness and the vibrations that they have towards to experience new things and to learn the why fact in that. So we had conducted a couple of experiments. Every week we do have an experiment that's new for children. So many water-based experiments we had, like blowing bubbles, water observation, dissolving in water, blooming flower, floating egg, many. And colors, skittle rainbows and rainbow walking, walking water, many such experiments were conducted. And I think these are the samples which our children had done on blooming flower. And air has weight. And here it goes, the list of experiments that you can just read. The water experiment, the blowing bubble water experiment is here. Next, the skittle experiment. This shows the rainbow colors, and it is the both integrated, that is the color and water contrast. When the skittles are arranged, you know, the water molecules are more active in warm water, and the colors they spread forms a rainbow shape. So those were the experiments. Then reflection and refraction. The shadow art, trust me teachers, you all can conduct the shadow art with your children, and you know, they come up with their own experience, and they have lots and lots to talk to us after the shadow art. Just, it's a very simple activity. Ask your child to take a favorite toy and keep it in the sun and just draw the shadow on the shadow. So this here we teach the concept of time also. The morning sun, the noon sun, and the evening sun, the shadow changes its place. So here we talked about the movement of the earth also here. And mirror writing, has KG teachers, we all are familiar with children when they are very raw to school, they have this mirror writing images. As a teacher, you ask, yes, it is absolutely fine for the child to write in the mirror writing concept. Whereas as we take it to a senior level, we need to reason them why. Here, when we write something and show the same reflection in the mirror, it is not inverted from front to back or from top to bottom. It is just the front bouncing the light from which it is seen. So everything, you know, just a minute. So everything here speaks about the shape and the color contrast and the reflection. Before ending my talk, I would just like to say that, as we say, we should never be an open teacher to the child. We should just be the root shower, and the child itself should be the master of the art what he is learning. So based on this, I have a very small video to be played, and if the time permits, I'll be going ahead. Like, let's be a scaffold teacher, at least from now, if at all we are not all these days. So I'll just start presenting the story.
Ramya, you can fast forward the story, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I'll just.
Yeah, we'll put the link of the story and share it. Just fast forward the story.
Yeah.
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically correct,
Is it audible?
but it's wordy. and
Yes,
hard.
it's audible.
The Dot by Peter H. Reynolds. Art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. The paper was empty. Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper. Ah, a polar bear in a snowstorm, she said. Very
Ramya, just go through it and just tell the gist of the story.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. So here, teachers, it is a very interesting story. Like later on, the link we'll be sharing if possible. So here it is about a little girl who doesn't know, who says her teacher that she doesn't know like what to draw. And she just and the teacher encourages her, just do whatever you want. And the story starts here with a dot, a single dot, which makes her a beautiful painter in future. And she, she becomes the follower for many of her classmates who follow her in this. It has really a very good content. Like for us as teachers, we shouldn't, criticize or think negative or speak negative about the child's art. We have to encourage the child in doing its own art, whatever the way the child is doing it. Yes, we are happy and we see many things in what the child is doing. Thank you so much. Now I would like to call upon Shreya for a very small brain gym activity. All this time you have just heard her. So now it's time for you all to participate in a very small brain gym activity. Over to you, Shreya.
Just a moment, please. Sumukh sir, please, all of you, please put on your video so that we feel connected and we actually see you all do. Gauri madam, namaskara, she's here with us. Thank you.
Namaste, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity.
We acknowledge your presence. So friends, please open your video, switch on your videos. Yes, Shreya, you can start.
Yes. Okay. Let's start, teachers. Just warm up your fingers. Come on, start. Just warm up. Yes. Make a circle with all the fingers. Yes. Again, open, close, open, close. Yes. Now we are ready. Let's give some work to our brain. Let's see how it works. Okay. Join your all fingers like thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger. Ready? You all joined? Just give little space between. Okay, don't join like this. Yes. Now see the thumb finger, just make a roll and opposite direction. Just take a round. Yes, everyone can do it, right? So coming to forefinger, that's index finger. Try to do it. Index finger. Index, yes. Circle, roll fast. Yes. Next, we are coming to middle finger, roll, and anti-clockwise. Fast, it should be fast. Yes. Next, coming to ring finger. Fast. And coming to ring finger, little finger. Yes. Okay, next one, quickly, okay? This is bunny and peacock. Okay, bunny, peacock. Now change your hands, peacock, bunny, bunny, peacock, peacock, bunny, peacock, bunny, bunny, peacock, peacock, bunny. Try. See, if you concentrate, sure you can do it, okay? Bunny, peacock, bunny, peacock, peacock, bunny, bunny, peacock, peacock, bunny. Yes, see? Okay, fine. Thank you all. Over to you, Aarti ma'am.
Thank you so much, Shreya. So again, I'm going to share my screen and unleashing the sixth joy, that is celebration. So celebration, the more you praise and celebrate your life, the more there is in life to celebrate. The topic which we have covered in it is celebrating life. Celebrating life as in, of course, we have festivals, we have so many moments, but don't forget to celebrate your little moments, little things in your life, which that matters for the happiness. So celebrating life is not only, as I said, celebration is like festivals and all. For children, it's like celebrating their birthday parties or celebrating any surprise gift they have got. And it's not only like they have achieved something, so they should celebrate. In Happy Classroom, we taught children to celebrate their achievement as well as achievement of their friend, their family members, or any siblings, because they feel happy when they participate while celebrating. So in this picture, I'll quickly take you through these slides. So in this slide, we children have done their celebration moment, which is of course for them the birthday celebrations. For them, birthday celebrations is always very important because they get a lot of gifts and cake to eat. Then, of course, different kind of culture, different kind of smiles in during our school times. And in a school, we celebrate different kind of culture, different kind of festivals, which brings the positive environment, the vibrant environment, which is of course leading to the happiness of child. It is like if we are providing different best education, all kind of facilities, but if our environment is not happy, if our environment is not vibrant, it's not positive, and we are not motivating children, children will not feel happy or motivated. So there are different kind of festivals we celebrate, like National Festival, Harvest Festival, other festivals, special days. And here are the slides and the celebrations we have done in our school: Independence Day, Onam, Children's Day, Teachers Day, Kannada Rajyotsav. Then we have different kind of activities which we have done online as well as during in school. Then there are different kind of activities and artwork of festivals done by our children in Happy Classrooms. And we have Christmas celebrations in our school. The pictures are here. Then we have yoga, dance, annual day, sports day. And finally, we have this brain map of happiness. So ultimately here I'm summing up the whole session. What is happiness? So happiness is like smiling every day. Happiness is caring. Happiness is fun. Happiness is appreciating natural beauty. Happiness is your imagination. Happiness is your self-improvement. Happiness is listening the bird song. Happiness is learning. Happiness is reading a new book. Happiness is enjoying the little moments. So here I sum up my session, and it's the feedback from happy children. These are the references, and thank you so much. So I would like to pay my vote of thanks to all the lovely participants present over here, our respected principal ma'am, my all colleagues. Thank you so much. So any feedback form would be shared in your respective WhatsApp group. Any feedback, any questions do you have, you can say in the chat box. Thank you so much.
So dear friends, if you all have anything to share, it will, as we said, it will motivate us. It will give us some encouragement. We have a long way to go, but some thoughts, if you have, you can raise your hand. Sumukh sir will unmute you, or if you can unmute both ways. It would be nice to hear your one or two, words of your thoughts as to how the whole concept that we are working on. It's work in progress. We would really like you to actually be a part of today's session. If you would say a few words from different schools connecting to audio. Bharti madam wants to connect. Sumukh sir, it would be really nice, because we also have our teacher friends from other schools, from Jaipur and Chennai. We value your presence again. Thank you so much. But none of you want to speak, being teachers, if you would. Well, my parting thought would be happiness is something we constantly cultivate in our lives again and again and again. It's a daily practice. We must regularly do things that encourage us to feel happy, joyful, cherished, and peaceful. So finally, on behalf of my entire JSS team who are present, the core team, of Aarti, who is our health and wellness coach, who has led the program for the past 2 years and taken the entire school team along. Taiba, a very senior teacher, also our health and wellness coach, and been with the program right from the inception. We have Ramya. Ramya again has seen the whole progress evolve, and especially Ramya and Shreya, they have been executing and adding novelty to our program. So all this thing has happened. Even I want to appreciate Manjusha, who has moved on because she's gone somewhere for a personal family commitments. So this is the core team, but all this has happened because our children are our life. They are the sparks, and they make us feel happy. Having done this, we constantly strive as a personal journey ourselves to be happy, because theory is one thing, doing is one thing, reflection is one thing, and when it comes to us, believe you me, it is you have to keep constantly reminding you, especially principal colleagues will agree that we have so many challenges. We have to be resilient, we have to be happy. If we are not happy, the same vibrations the team, and with that comes our core critical team is our teachers, which we want to cover another session, because teachers are the critical link. We all have we are real warriors, not only COVID warriors, we are the real front line, the masiha, the warriors, the gurus, you name it. That's what we are, and more power to the fraternity of teachers. You all have to see that, the whole thing of learning to live together, learning to be, to do, if these things are driven with the motto being relating education to life for a better, happier, and a peaceful world, I think all your worries will go. Try to embrace one big idea at a time, maybe mindfulness, maybe positive well-being, maybe art, dance, music. Do that. So you can embrace mindfulness, go for a walk, go for a dance, read, express love and affection to others, and always encourage the child. Brain based, if you are threatening environment, the child will never learn. So provide a nurturing environment to child. Talk about and remember all the Divyang children, try to personalize your education for them also. So everybody, I think we would really actually, in essence, be implementing a national education policy also, which is talking about experiential learning, joyful learning, happiness within and happiness outside. And finally, it is andar ki baat. Happiness andar ki baat hai. ನಿಮ್ ಮನ್ಸನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ, ಖುಷಿವಾಗಿ ಮನ್ಸ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನಿದೆ, ಆಚೆನೂ ಅದೇ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು. ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿವಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮಾತಾಡಿ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ತಪ್ಪಿದ್ರೇನು ಹೇಳಿ, ನನ್ಗೆ ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಿ. I try to do that. I'm not perfect. If you're making of error, you say, I'm sorry. You have to improve, because everyone's watching you. All your children are watching you. So Gauri ma'am, your presence always makes a big difference as being with us, and we want you to share your thoughts. It would motivate us. Thank you
so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. It was a wonderful session, and the activities were good, presentation was so good, and it was so lively, ma'am. We can relate to our everyday's life. I strongly feel that happiness is one of the important human value. It's one of the important feeling. And I also feel that nobody can make you happy or unhappy unless you yourself choose it. You want to be happy, you can be happy. You want to be unhappy, you can be unhappy.
Correct.
But it is our choice. And I always feel that you get life only once. And you have to live it to the ultimate extent. Yes. And take your life with a positive note. And when we are happy, when I chose to be happy, I can definitely spread the happiness amongst all my fellow colleagues. And I always tell my staff members also, happiness is like a contagious disease. Spread the happiness throughout the world. I tell my kids also. So it was a very wonderful session. It was like an eye-opener to all of us. There were so many activities, maybe a storytelling method or a balancing your emotions. And I'm happy to say that today we had a mindfulness session on mindfulness from Dr. Anasuya Salem, who is from USA. So I was just relating that topic to this topic. It is like a continuation of that particular topic today. So it was a wonderful session, ma'am. Thank you, Geetika madam, for this opportunity.
Thank you.
And hope to continue all these further also, ma'am, because we belong to one biggest family, by big banyan tree, JSS Mahavidyapita.
Yes, yes, absolutely, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gauri ma'am. Thank you very much. Any other teacher from another partner school, please? Would you like to say anything? Somebody from JSS Noida or from any other team, please? Are you all there? Are you all feeling happy? Yes, ma'am. Anybody wants to say? All right. So we now, Dimple, madam, you want to say something?
Yeah, ma'am. I'm from JSS Noida. I'm PGT chemistry there.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good afternoon to you all. And it is really nice to be here, to be a part of such a wonderful session, although our classes are going on in between. So actually, I'm also attending this session for mindfulness in some other group. So according to me, it is very necessary for all of us to give time to us, time to ourselves, to look out inside I, what actually I want. Because once my I is happy, so I'm able to make others I happy too. So my experiences, I can say only a beautiful mind able to create another beautiful mind.
Beautiful.
That's what. Thank you.
Thank you, Dimple, madam. We feel, our bonding, and we thank Nana, madam, for making it happen and permitting you to attend in this, committed times. We have so many commitments. Thank you so much. Any other teachers? Otherwise, we will time to say bye-bye and thank you. We can go, the JSS HSR group can stay on. So ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ, ಬಹಳ ಖುಷಿ ಆಯ್ತು. ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ನನಗೆ opportunity ಕೊಡಿ. We will come again with another session on teachers as critical link to, spread happiness. Let's all close with a smile. And I would like my HSR team to stay back, please. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.